Morning. Hello, everyone. I see there's a few of you still coming on to the screen. Now I'm seeing cameras. Let's see who is muted, who's not muted. Hello, Donna. Nice to meet you. I see you're here, camera off. Francis, also very pleased to meet you. I'm glad you're here. Just letting a couple more people in. How are you guys? So pleased to meet you. I love doing these Monday calls. I get a group of people who I know already, some that I don't know, and I never know who's going to show up. So it's always a treat. Oh, let me straighten my camera. There we go. All good. Okay. Who else we got? Oh, thank you, Francis. Hey, Loie, nice to see you. Good to see you. Let me admit some people, some more people. Admit. Hey, Alicia, nice to meet you. Daniel, pleased to see you. Allison, I'm pleased you're here. All right, what's our time like? I think we're right on time. We are. Let's give it one more minute and we'll see how it goes. Just, good morning, Alicia. Happy Monday to you too. While we're waiting, tell me what country you guys are signing in from. Hi, Allison. Nice to meet you and nice to see you here on camera too. From the US, yes. US, California. We know I've got some East Coast people too. US, California. Alicia, so nice to see you. New York. Hey, there's more than one people from the back east there. New York, I heard. Good morning. Morning, Daniel. So nice to see you here. Nigeria, morning. Francis, so nice to meet you. Hey, we're going to get a time to talk soon, right? When our times align. Really looking forward to meeting you. All right. Let's just see. Hey, look at you guys all on camera. I'm so impressed. I never know who's going to show up on camera and who isn't. It's good to see you. What else we got? We got DC, we've got Nigeria, we've got the US, I'm Canada. So we've got a nice assortment of different nationalities here. Great. All right, so let's dive in, you guys. Let me start by asking you this question. What are you looking forward to this week? What's going to be exciting? What's going to bring you joy? Type it in the chat. I want to see. And while you're typing, let me ponder what I'm doing. Oh, I should have brought them in here. I have got myself some primroses that I'm going to plant in my window boxes. Louie, a road trip with one of my besties to Charleston and Savannah. Oh, how exciting. That is so great. Alicia, working with my website developer. Excellent. So pleased. My prospects placing orders, Donna. Very nice. That is exciting. What else we got here? I'm glad you guys are playing along. Yeah. And for me, if I get my act together, because I don't always, I will post the photos of my window boxes with the primroses. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I work in a she shed. So what you see here behind me is just the beginnings of one little room. The outside is super rustic. If you want to know what my she shed looks like, have a look at my Facebook profile, either my business page or my personal, and you can see my little she shed in the back there. So Allison, preparing to move to Central Oregon soon. Well, that's super exciting. And Daniel, looking to a 4-day work week. Yeah, I know, I get it. Today was supposed to be kind of an off day. It's a holiday for us as well. But you know what? I like doing these Monday sessions, and I find that it really sets me up to start the week on a good foot. I really feel like I've started by just doing something valuable and helping some people, and I just like that feeling. So anyway, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so I'm hearing all the great things that you guys are doing, and I want to talk about one powerful question. And I started doing this last week and I really liked it. So my powerful question is this: as a coach or as an entrepreneur, what do you want to be known for? And the word known is all caps, like this is the thing you want to stake your claim for. So let me just read this to you. And here's where this comes from. Claiming our expertise is a big deal. And so often we waffle. Sometimes we tell ourselves we're being a little bit modest. Sometimes we're kind of nervous to claim our thing. But when we actually do, it is so incredibly powerful. It makes such a difference to claim your thing. I know a guy, he's in a mastermind that I'm part of. And when I first heard this, I was kind of like, I don't know, I felt weird about it. And what he claims is that he is the world's best courage coach. And I didn't know what to think about it at first. So I talked to him about it. And here's what he says. He says that the idea is that claiming it means that every single day he wakes up, and even though he knows that he's not the best yet, but he is moving in that direction. And he says that as he would ask himself, what is the world's best courage coach? What would I do? What would I do today? What would I do this week? Where can I grow? How do I show up? How can I hone my skills? So I like that. You know, what do you want to be known for? Just letting another couple people in from the waiting room here. And while you guys are doing that, my internet is bumpy. I am going to pop off my hotspot. Just give me a second here. Be patient with me. Thank you. Okay. So pop your answers in the chat. My internet should be good and smooth now. I'm using my hotspot. So what do you want to be known for, where known is all caps? Tell me what's going on for you guys. I want to hear it. There's some thinking. The oil mom entrepreneur. Thank you, Donna. That's great. Daniel, my clients call me the dream maker. And so I got a personalized license plate. I love that. That's so great. Thank you for sharing that. That's so cool. Ooh, okay. Let me see if I can open this. I want to have a look at this license plate. Oh, you guys, I'm going to put this on the screen. Daniel's shared his license plate with us. And I just want to celebrate him. So isn't that cool? So he's the dream maker, and here's a picture of his dream maker license plate. That's great. Who else? Is it okay to say I'm still exploring? Yes, Leisha, you can say you're still exploring. This is a yes and moment. So the and would be, you already have some major strengths in your life. You have been alive for however many years that you've been alive for. And there are things that you are amazing at. And I would love to see you claim one of them. So you can always change, you can always grow, but you know, sometimes just making that claim makes a big difference. I'm going to leave that with you. And if you feel like you're ready to write something down, pop it in the chat. Loie, figuring it out, same comment to you. I have, and who else have we got? Francis, nice, the best nichepreneur coach. Excellent. Very good. Okay. So I have a couple of things that I like to be known for. So I'll just share them with you. And for me too, Leisha, Loie, I kind of figure it out sometimes, but often what happens for me is that when I look at what do I do that's super easy, and one of my big skills is calm, just that word, CALM. And so many people that I work with, my one-on-one clients in particular, they say, no matter what's going on in my life, when I get on a call with you, I always feel calm. And I always sort of took that for granted, but I realized that it's actually a big deal. We live in such a crazy world right now. So many different things going on, so much contentious worries, so many, I don't know, just things to make my head spin. And if I could have 5 minutes of calm, well, that would be a darn good thing. So that's one of the things that I'm claiming. Leisha, everyone says I'm good at making them feel comfortable and making them laugh. Yeah, so claim that for now and then grow and establish something else too. Okay, anybody else got something for me? All right, you guys are being courageous. Really, it's a big deal to sort of stake your claim for something, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys sharing it with us as well. Okay, so take that away this week and ask yourself again and again, like, what do I really want to be known for? And with the intent of, what do I have that's a natural skill? That is one of my strengths, one of my superpowers, and maybe something that really comes naturally to you, something that you think, well, it's no big deal. Of course, everybody feels that. I want you to kind of look at those things in your life, like, where could I stake claim to that? And, you can always DM me at Candy Motzek, either on Insta, or you can send me an email. And to do that, just hit reply to any of the emails that I'd send you. I'll be sending you a replay for this video, along with the little worksheets that I'm going to be talking to you about in a couple of minutes. Hit reply. Let me know how it goes. I love to hear from you. Okay, so let's dive in to the topic that I wanted to talk about today. So this topic doesn't have a super fancy name. What it has is the idea that so often there's something that we want to do. I'm going to put a link to a Google Doc here in the chat that you guys can grab the download if you want. You don't have to use the download by any means. You can just use a blank piece of paper and write on it. That is just fine. But so often what happens is we have something that we want to do, and then we delay, and then we second guess, and then we say, I'm going to do that thing. And then we just, we find all the reasons why not today. I could use the word procrastinate. Procrastinate's a big topic for many of us, but I entitled this document, Stop Second Guessing and Let's Go. And I'm going to share with you a little process that I use personally. And I used it in a couple of instances. So specifically for these Monday calls, I used this exact process to just sort of get off my hiney, just get moving, make it happen, do it, even though I'd been thinking about it for a while. And I also did it for my podcast. I wanted to be a podcaster for, like maybe 6 months before I started on my podcast. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then it just didn't happen. I dreamed and thought and thought and thought, and then I got jammed up on weird things like, what do I call my podcast? Oh, what would I talk about? Like, my brain had every excuse under the sun. And so I know that if I can just think of 2 quick instances where it happened for me, I'm sure that it's alive and well with you guys as well. So let's start with this. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'm going to give you some time to reflect. And I want you to be a little bit courageous with the idea of you already know the thing that you want to get to work on. So let's start with this question. Grab a blank piece of paper, grab that download, and answer this. What's on your mind? What's that thing that you've been thinking about, but you just haven't started yet? And it doesn't have to be a massive thing, but that thing that you've been delaying, is going to move your business forward. It's going to move you forward in your life. Write a few things, or just write that one thing. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to figure out where you want to focus today. All right, 10 more seconds. Okay, you guys, come back to me. So, what's your one thing? What's the topic that you have chosen? I want you to share it in the chat. Tell me, what is that one thing that you want to be looking at a little bit more closely today? One of those projects or initiatives or ideas that you've been putting off. Leisha, writing my book. Got it. You're a speedy typist. I see that. Loie, writing. I'm a writer and I believe that I can reach my ideal clients through my writing. Wow. Yes, I know you can too. Donna, following up more frequently. Yeah. Donna, let me just ask you one slightly more specific question. When you say follow up more frequently, how often and how frequent and at what intervals? Like, are you looking at following up with people monthly? Daniel, organizing my tasks by putting them in my calendar. Great. Okay. Cool. And Donna, just back to your comment about following up more frequently. It's a super valuable skill for sure, but if we don't get specific, you don't know if you've succeeded at it. So it's really easy. And I know that our brains love to sort of keep moving the goalpost on us. So if I say follow up more frequently with my clients or potential clients, and I don't tell myself how, then I never know if I succeeded. And then I'm always like, like always arriving or always thriving, never arriving would be the way I would put that. Francis, giving out the free ebook that I made and reading books that will help me actually. Creating a content calendar. Lovely. Donna, at least every couple of weeks or maybe sooner. I love that. Go with every couple of weeks. It's a really specific thing that would be achievable. Okay, so that's your topic. Write your topic either at the top of a page or on the worksheet. Allison, deciding on a portable part-time business, coaching or writing. Cool. There's 3 of you guys that have talked about writing today. That's amazing. I love it. So write that topic at the top of the page. Now, when I do this, I sometimes actually do it on, like, how do I describe it here? Just a second. I'll show you. I often will do it like on an open page like this. So I've got lots of space and then I write my topic at the top of the page. I'm super visual, and so I like to be able to see it. When I did the worksheet for you guys, that Google Doc that you could download, it's on 8.5 by 11 sheets, but I like this page to page view. So writing your topic, now I want you to take just a minute and I want you to write underneath, why do I want to do this? How will I grow? How is it going to actually help me reach whatever my goal is? Why is it a good thing for me to do? Just come up with a few ideas, and I'm going to set the timer for about 40 seconds. So why do you want to do this thing? Why do you want to decide on a part-time business? Why do you want to start a content calendar? What's your reason? I'm going to give you another 10 seconds, and then I'll ask you to return. Okay, come back to me, you guys. All right, so let me share with you an example that I have pulled up. This is not one that I actually want to do, but it is one that some of my clients have been thinking of. So the topic that they've been talking about is going live on video every week. So that would be one specific topic. They want to do it. They keep 2 steps forward, pulling back. Maybe they do it once, maybe they don't continue, but they really, really, really want to start showing up live. And for some of them, the reasons might sound something like this. I know that video is a great way to create connection with potential clients. I want to get over my fear of being seen, would be another one. And the third is I want to create a small library of assets, things that I can send my coaching clients, send them that information, ways of working through my ideas. And so those would be some reasons why some of my clients might like to show up, might like to do a live stream every week or even daily, right? So what about you guys? What are some of the reasons? Just pop one reason in the chat. You know, when we take the time to write and then share it, I think it really helps to embed it, and it helps us to integrate and implement. So that's why I'm always asking you to come back into that chat and put your answers in there. Daniel, to become more organized and committed. What will being committed and organized, what will it do for you in your life? Loie, I need to reach out, and this is in my skill set. Excellent. Okay. So you're leveraging a strength that you've already got. Well done. Donna, will help my business grow and in turn will make me more money. Yeah, for sure. And Donna, I think that was to do with following up with clients to reduce distractions. Yeah. So commitment leads to focus. And then what can you do with focus, right? Then you can just do anything, is the way I feel with focus. Yeah, cool. So nice to see you on camera this time. It's great. All right, I'll give you guys another minute or so to type in your answers. And I got one more. Allison, I love being involved and sharing my skills, and I also love being creative. I'd feel more secure increasing my income. Yeah. There's a lot to be said for having that feeling of safety and security, and we can relax, right? Francis, reach my target audience and organize what I say to them. Indeed. Leisha, I'm writing the book about my government name. I want to express my vulnerabilities and insecurities, growing up with an untraditional name and inspiring others to not let their name define them and live out their dreams, regardless of their name. That's great, Leisha. Yeah, speaking to the person with the name Candy. I hear you. So wonderful. Exactly. There's no accidents that you're here today. Okay, so when I'm doing this on one sheet of paper, I've written my title at the top. I've written my reasons, like, why do I want to do this? And then I draw a big line underneath that. And so underneath the big line, I split my page in half. And that's one of the reasons that I will do it in one of these open pages, because then I don't actually have to split it in half. I've got the right half and the left half of the page. So now on the left-hand side of the page, I'm going to give you some time. And I want you to answer, what's holding me back? Now, I would love it if you would write one reason in a line and then leave a little bit of space, and then another reason, leave a little bit of space, another line, just leave a little bit of space, and you'll see how this evolves. So what's holding you back? What's the challenge? What's the worry? What's the thing you don't know how to do? And we're writing that on the left-hand side of our page. Now, I know my idea is that you can take this away and develop your ideas and your thought work even further, but I wanted to get you through the whole process so you can see how it works. So I'm going to give you another 45 seconds and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so let me share with you some of the examples from somebody who's interested in going live on video every week. These are some of the things one of my clients might be holding themselves back. I don't know how to work my camera properly. I don't know what to say. I'm no good at speaking. I don't even know where to look. Like, where's the lens on the camera? Tech is scary. I'm going to mess this up. I'm going to look like a fool. So those are really common objections, real common places that we would hold ourselves back. And the reason that I share those with you is that the funny thing is every single time I want to do a new project, like the podcast or these Monday sessions, every single time, if I look at that list of things holding me back, it's almost exactly the same list every time. It's that same human condition of, I don't know how, I'm going to look silly, it's never going to work, like it's always the same objections. And sometimes for me, just having seen them written on paper, I'm like, oh, it's those things again. Okay, well, I know those things show up. That's just what my brain loves to just give to me every time I try something new. It gives me those same places to be afraid of. Then I get to choose, right? Then I can decide. So your page is now set up looking something like this. Topic. Underneath that, why do I want to do that? On the left-hand side, what are the things holding you back? Now on the right-hand side, I want you to draw an arrow from one of the things holding you back. So in my example, I don't know how to work my camera. I'll draw an arrow to point to the right-hand side of the page, and then choose one of these questions to answer. Let me read off the 4 questions. What we're doing here is we're questioning, like, is this really true? Or are these just those words that always show up in my head? So the questions could be, is this thing holding me back, is that really something valid? Is this really true? Or what could I do to reduce or eliminate the risk? Or what's the worst that's going to happen? Or what's the most likely outcome? And so what you're doing is you're taking that place of nervousness, the worry, the challenge, and you're really questioning yourself. So I'm going to give you just a few seconds to go through, choose one of those questions and just answer that, ask yourself that question, tongue twister, about that objection, about that place of worry. So if the challenge is, I don't know how to work my camera, then I could say to me, is that really true? Like, well, actually I do know how to work a camera, but I'm not as well as I'd like to. Can I learn how to do it? Yeah, of course I can learn. I could practice. So take a little bit of time, question those things that you're worried about. And this time, I'm going to give you a full minute. You're questioning your assumptions about what might go wrong. I'm going to put myself on mute. My dog's going to come bounding in just a sec. All right, she came bounding in, jumped on her chair. She's sitting in the square of sunshine on her fluffy blanket. All right. Okay, so here's the perfect example. I know exactly what I do in this little section. I take a worry and then I question the worry. And I'm having all kinds of problems explaining it to you. So that would be an example of what might go wrong if I do one of these Monday calls and bring you into a conversation. I might not be very good at explaining it. Oh, well, I'm still here. I'm still alive. You either got it or you didn't get it. But I know you guys are smart. And when you hear that, I'm going to question my assumption. I know you guys can figure it out. So thanks for playing with me. All right. So I'm not going to give you enough time to do all of the questions, overcome all of those worries, but maybe you can share with me a little bit in the chat, or even if you want to put your hand up, you can talk on video here as well. Share with me, what did you discover? Share the challenge and what you discovered when you questioned it. Anybody ready to go? Donna. Setting aside the time and finding the material they need to quickly get back to them. Excellent. So when you're thinking about following up, my guess is one of the objections is that it's going to take too long. It's going to be really hard to do. But if you prepare yourself, you can be super efficient. That's what it sounds like to me. Let me know if I hit that right, Donna. Awesome. Very good. All right, you guys still typing in. Sorry, it was kind of a long thing to put in the chat, or put your hand up. Happy to chat with you. Yeah. Hey, Louie.
Hi.
Hi.
So my holding me back is a history of not having a big audience in the past, despite writing a lot. So it became a why bother question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what did you find out when you questioned that?
Well, it's kind of legitimate. I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
I've written tons and I have not gone the, audience or traction I want. I mean, some things have had good audience, but not as much as I think,
Yeah.
I want it to.
So you write.
Yes.
And sometimes you get people reading your writing and responding, and sometimes not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times not.
Okay. How would, I think when you first started, you said something like, I'm just kind of trying to remember the words that you used, but you like not having a wide enough audience. Like, how would you know if the audience is wide enough? Like, what would be your marker for this is working?
Well, I guess engagement, either people reaching out and wanting coaching after they've read my stuff, or, being invited by other coaches to talk to their people, or just having kind of a platform.
Yeah.
Build a platform.
And how long have you been coaching for?
Me?
Asking you. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it might be true right now, or it might be
Yeah.
mostly true right now. But if you stick with it, what do you think might happen? I mean, I know that's a leading question, but I mean, that's what this comes down to, is we decide and we commit and we do it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the right thing. And can I just give you guys the preview to the end?
Uh-huh.
The end of this is you actually get to decide if this is right for you or not. Sometimes we have this idea and we think it's all great. And then we're like, wait a minute, it's not actually what I want. So sometimes the result of this exercise is that we've just been, spinning that carousel in our head, and it's really not the thing. So just giving you that preview. So what do you think, Chloe? Is this something that is worth continuing on trying? How would you know?
Yeah, no, 100% it's worth continuing on for me. It is really kind of my thing. So, I mean, I would be a gymnast and still want to write. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Words are your thing.
They are. Yeah.
So what do you need to tell yourself about this? Why bother? Not a wide enough audience. What would be helpful there?
I don't know. I haven't thought that far into it
Yeah.
or deeply. Like, I don't know what meaningful means for me in this sense.
So this is the place to dig deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what would make this meaningful?
Mm-hmm.
How wide of an audience is needed? If you're a new coach, my guess is you're probably doing the one-on-one thing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
The easiest way to create income.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've got limited amount of time. How many people can you coach at a time, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard some people who coach 25, 30 people when they're doing it full time, and they're super busy, but you know,
Yeah,
that's their thing, right?
right.
So you know that writing is your thing.
Yes.
You know that coaching is your thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's this,
It's a peanut
what
butter and
makes,
chocolate.
yeah. And there was somebody else who said that earlier too, about writing and coaching. Let me just scroll back on that chat. You might want to scroll back on that chat too. Maybe there's a question there or a response from them that would make a difference, right? So dig deeper, see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to put their hand up and talk about what they discovered? Let me read some of the things in the chat. Let's see Daniel, what did you say? I just need to set some time aside and just do it. I get distracted easily. It's that focus thing. Yeah, for sure. So a place for you to move your perspective might be focus for a very small amount of time, like 10 minutes. Just set a 10-minute timer and do whatever that thing is for 10 minutes only. Like do it for such a small amount of time that you kind of giggle at yourself and go, how, obviously I can do this for 10 minutes at a time. And that might help you move on to the just do it. There's, Mel Robbins has that book, The 5-Second Rule. That's a perfect approach to it. And I really like the 5-second rule, where you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you go and you just do that thing that you've been sitting looking at. And that's great for small iterative pieces, but not necessarily for a larger project. Daniel, does that help you? 10-minute timer, make it small. Don't think, just do it. Yeah. So it sounds like you're really onto your brain being the thing that gets in your way. You're overthinking, or you're probably one of these super intelligent people, and we can just talk ourselves. We can just think and think and think and think instead of actually doing anything. So let's see who else we've got here. Allison, I worry about my motivation and energy level and belief in myself, but this isn't true. Allison, that should be all caps. When I hit on the right thing for me, I have amazing energy. Yeah. So you just realized that you actually were telling yourself a story. And it's so easy to believe that story about I'm too small, I'm not motivated, I don't have the energy level. Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice. Is there anything else you want to say about that, Allison? Thanks for coming on.
Oh, just that I had this come up for me this just last week, I think it was, where I should have been just dog tired from lack of sleep and other things that I was working on. And I worked part-time, so I worked, and then I came home, and I had to be at work at 5:30 in the morning, and I came home and still had great energy. And I realized it was because I was now doing something I really wanted to do. So I found it interesting that how we can get out of touch with ourselves and, get out of touch with our dreams and what we really want, and let other things crowd things out. And then when we can get back in touch with our real nature and spirit and what excites us, then we have great energy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great reminder for all of us. Thank you for sharing that. So this place of coming into alignment with ourselves. I think that just as adults, it's really easy for us to get on that hamster wheel of these are all the things that I have to do, and putting our needs at the, kind of like at the back of the list, right? Instead of going, well, wait a minute, to have the energy to do those other things, I get to do me too. Like that's the only reason we're here alive right now, is to live our life fully. It's a really good point. Thank you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, Joseph Campbell always said, follow your
Always,
bliss.
always. Yeah, always. Yeah, for sure.
And I
Thanks.
forgot that.
And now you reminded yourself.
Yep.
Cool. I love it. Francis, I feel like I won't be able to actually coach effectively. I'm doing a lot of free sample coaching right now. So Francis, the question is, so that's the worry. I won't actually be able to coach effectively. And right now you're doing a lot of free sample coaching. Great. It's a perfect first place for you to start. So my question for you, and you can either come on voice or type your response, is how are you feeling when you do these free sample coaching sessions? What kind of response are you getting from the people that you're coaching? And how do you feel when you're doing it? I would love to hear that. I'm just going to pause for a second. You tell me if you're thinking of coming on. Francis, you're still off camera, you're still on mute, so I'm thinking you might type. All right, I don't know if you're typing or not, but let me ask or sort of lay in another question or another layer here. So my thought is that you're actually doing coaching right now. And the minute that somebody receiving coaching, when you're in that coaching conversation, the minute that that one person has one small change in perspective, one insight, one place where they kind of think, like you see them sort of double take, like question their thinking, or one time where they say, oh, I don't know, nobody's ever asked me that before. We're one thought away from a completely different life. So if you're doing free coaching sessions right now, and any of those people that you're coaching with say, wow, this was helpful, or they experienced any of those other things, guess what, my friend? It means you are coaching, and you are coaching effectively. So question yourself there, be onto yourself. All right. Donna, educate myself more and know how to use my phone more efficiently. Excellent. Can you do that? Can you figure out how to use your phone more efficiently? Let's see. Francis, I don't know if I'm doing it right, but they're getting a lot of clarity and are starting on their own transformation. So there you go. You know that you're doing something right. It doesn't mean that you're going to stay in this place. It doesn't mean that you're not going to improve your coaching skills. It means that you've made a good start. And I understand if you're in a noisy environment, don't worry about coming on voice. But if you're a new coach and you're starting out and they are getting a response, they are getting an improvement, a transformation, a new perspective, you know that you're on the right path. So I just want to encourage you, let you know that you are actually on the right path. Okay. Leisha, I changed my thoughts about my coaching when a few clients told me, Leisha, you really make me think. And I've never thought about that. Nice. Nice. Excellent. Yeah. Good sharing, Leisha. That's so helpful. All right, you guys. So I have one more question for you. You've looked at some of the things that are holding you back. You've questioned at least one of them just a little bit. So you're getting the idea about how this works. once you've been through your list, what I'd love you to do is decide, is this the thing that I want to do? And that decisions happen like that, just like in an instant, you decide, is this the thing that I want to do? And once you've decided, then you get moving on it. I find that I get unstuck in two places, particularly with this exercise. The first is when I remind myself why I want to do this. And three places. The first place where I find clarity is when I realize why I want to do that thing, whatever it is. The second is when I write down all those things that I might be worrying about or the things that I'm holding myself back. Like I said earlier, sometimes I'm like, oh, it's these same old thoughts still rummaging around in my head. I know that it's not a new thought. It's not necessarily a real worry. This is just the place that my inner critic loves to put up for me to hold me back. And the third place that I get clarity is when I question, is this really true? Can I learn this? Is it worth it? Questioning your assumptions. So 3 places where I find I really get clarity. And you're going to know that obviously it worked for me. This is the 4th or the 5th Monday call that we're doing. I use this process to get ready for this. And I also used it to get ready for my podcast. And I've just finished releasing episode 81. So you know that it works. So let's wrap it up. Was this helpful? Does this give you a tool that you can take forward that you can use either for yourself or with your clients while they're looking at making changes in their life? Pop it in the chat. Misha, thank you. Extremely helpful and inspirational. Great. Please use it with your clients as well. Donna, yes, I know you can do this. Good for you. Beryl Ann, lovely. Yes, I'm glad it was helpful. It's just great. Very helpful. Thank you, Allison. I'm glad to hear it. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Leisha. Thanks for the compliments on my podcast. I have so much fun doing that podcast now. It's just great. It's not like work. I appreciate you guys joining. I'm glad it was helpful. If you haven't already, I'll make sure to attach that Google Doc. Take it away, use it for yourself, use it for your writing, use it for your projects, and teach your clients. I really want to make sure that I help you in any way to be just that most powerful coach that you can be. Thanks again so much for joining me, and I look forward to talking to you guys next Monday. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Candy.